Benjamin is my name. I grew up in Jamaica. I became a medical doctor there, and soon afterwards veered into the automobile industry. My wife and I did pretty well, allowed us to move from Jamaica to Florida and expanded our business. We ran into the real estate mortgage crisis of 2008. It landed us in a financial valley. Fortunately, we were able to climb out of that valley using the network marketing model of business, which got ourselves back on our feet. We had the privilege of moving from Florida to Lagos, Nigeria, where we lived for 8 years. And thankfully, we got introduced to the idea of trading. While being in Lagos, Nigeria, I got introduced to this community known as Xtreamfx Global Academy. At the time, I started off as an affiliate. An affiliate is someone who markets the academy. So that was my first role, marketing the academy. I paid a little over $100 at the time to register. You could do the same, either $168. At the time, there was no $249 package to register. That's the one I would have done, but there was none at the time. And we got to work and started introducing friends and family to the community and started earning commissions. $500, $1,000, $2,000, $5,000. I'd even earn as much as $10,000 in a single period of time in this compensation plan. So this is a very lucrative aspect of this community. If you choose to market our academy, you'll be paid very, very good income, all right? But this is what happened for me though. While I was marketing the academy and earning commissions for doing presentations, bringing people aboard and helping them to get the value, I observed two students in particular in their first year use our main product. Our main product is education. So the interesting thing is that I was earning like, $500, $2,000, $5,000 in a month. And two students that joined our academy ended up in their first year earning over $1 million. When I first heard those stories, I believed them because they happened, and I'm a part of the community, so I know the people that it happened for. And I started making excuses that, well, maybe there's something unique and this and that. But ladies and gentlemen, the reality is that they just simply went through the education process, took it very seriously, and they emerged with great success. The reality of it is that most of us are not going to have that speed of success. I want to manage our expectations where that is concerned. Most of us will not have. It doesn't mean you can't. I'm not saying you won't be one. Don't get me wrong. I'm not here to discount your capabilities, but I also want to manage your expectations so that we don't leave here hoping that you're going to make tons upon tons of money and it doesn't materialize as expected. All right. So I want us to manage your expectations because two people really did do that. There's a 17-year-old young man that in his first year earned over 250,000 US dollars using the education that you're here to take a look at. So I want us to understand that the education itself is very powerful, it's very valuable, but also realize that not everybody's going to succeed at the same pace. So I want to throw that disclaimer out there that your results are going to be your results. If you do not apply yourself properly, you probably will not get any benefit from this program, right? We want you to take personal trading responsibility, and that's how this particular program works. So here, our main product is education. You learn about trading in the financial markets. The laptop or phone that you're using to look at this presentation, it is literally, and I mean it, I don't mean it figuratively, I'm not trying to be hypothetical about it, it is literally, physically, right now, connected to an ocean of over $7 trillion. Somebody put trillion in the chat for me, please, just in case somebody doesn't understand my accent. All right, somebody type the word trillion in the chat, okay, with a T. I want to make it clear how much money your phone and your laptop is connected to. So everyone on this line, you have in your possession money earning machines called your phone or a laptop. Now, what converts it to a money earning or printing machine? You're not printing money in the printing of the paper money in the sense, but in terms of, and I'm being somewhat figurative with that, right? I'm trying to just give you an idea that this is a very powerful technology that you have in your hands, your phone and your laptop, with a free app. The name of the app is called MetaTrader 4. If somebody could put that name in the chat for me, MetaTrader 4. That app is free. Anybody could download it. It's right now available in all of our Play stores. You could download it on your laptop, and it will convert your phone or laptop into a money earning device, right? It will literally do that. Okay, so we're here to show you an educational platform that will train us on how to use that particular technology. All right. So some of us here probably have never traded before. All right. And if you have never traded before, like my friend Chidi in Canada, right, has never traded before. All right. You know, and he and I were having a conversation online here when we did this presentation. I think it was Sunday or Saturday, and he joined us, and he's never traded before, and he's intrigued and he's back. All right. Anyone else who has never traded before, if you could just put a number 1 in the chat. You have never traded the financial markets before, right? Just go ahead and put a 1 in the chat. Thank you for typing Trillion Millie. And Peter, thank you for typing MetaTrader 4, right? And okay, so who has never traded? Who has never traded? Apart from Chidi, who has never traded? You've never traded before.
I've never traded.
All right, Chidi, stay unmuted with me, Chidi. Stay unmuted with me. You've never traded before. Is there anyone else here who has never traded before? Anyone else? You've never traded before. You've never downloaded the app. You've never used it before. 2.5 years ago, I'd never heard. I didn't even know it existed. I didn't know there was something called MetaTrader 4. And we have Lily Mae with a 1, Roger Stewart with a 1, and Peter with a 1. Thank you. All right, so Roger Stewart, do you mind unmuting and being a co-host with me? You know, just to have a conversation about this app that I'm going to show you to see if it's something that you could use. Do you mind?
No.
All right, great, Roger. So Roger, you have never traded. I need someone who is new to the call, but you have traded before. You're new to the call, but you have traded before. So Roger, who has never traded, is going to be someone who has never traded. And then I want someone who has traded before, who has done some trading, and emphasize how simple and powerful our trading technology is. Anyone who has traded before, just come off mute, and you're going to stay unmuted with Roger and I, and the 3 of us are going to have a conversation. And this is your first time joining this call. All right, let me try calling out some people then. Mark, you're all Mark. Okay, there's nothing beside your name except Mark. Have you traded before, Mark? Kirk Weston, Kurt, K-U-R-T. Have you traded before? Right, Kurt?
Yes, I have.
Kurt, wonderful. Wonderful, Kurt. Wonderful, Kurt. How long have you been trading?
I don't know, to be honest.
All right, great. And have you gotten to a point where you're consistently profitable?
No.
All right, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, do you know this website that I put on the screen? Do you know what this website is?
Yes, the MT Forge website. The platform, which is it?
All right, so there's a lot of noise in your background. Kurt, are you able to be somewhere quiet? Is it possible so we could hear you clearly? If not,
not really.
Not really. All right, so I'll default to someone else then. What about you, Mark or Kirk Weston? Have you either Mark or Kirk Weston? Have either of you traded before? Mark or Kirk Weston? Go ahead, Kirk.
Yeah, I've traded before.
Awesome. So what is it that's on my screen? What's the name of this website?
That's TradingView.
All right, great. So this is a trader. So Roger Stewart, you have no idea what this is, right? You probably have never seen this before.
I see it already, but I didn't. One time I come and listen now.
Do you feel, the first time I saw this chart, the first time I saw this Kirk, first time I saw this Roger, I got a headache. True story. My head started hurting me, and I believed I would never be able to do this. Honestly, right? How do you feel when you see all these buttons and numbers and these things on the side? How do you feel, Roger? Do you feel overwhelmed?
I feel like, plenty work. You have to know what they're doing.
You have to, exactly. All right. So, Kirk, do you do markups? Kirk. K-I-R-K. Do you do any, do you do markups?
Yes. Yeah, I do markups.
All right, what do you trade? What pair or asset do you trade?
Mainly indices.
Mainly indices. So NAS 100 is your friend.
Yeah, mainly NAS.
Mainly NAS. All right, so let's pull up
I
NAS,
don't
right?
have a lot of time. I don't have a lot of time to trade. So I need to trade something that is going to move fast within a 2-hour period and I can get out.
All right, I got you. So are you mainly a scalper?
Yes, I'm a scalper.
All right, fine. So you'll be putting in your, support resistance lines, right? You'll be putting in your trend lines, you'll be doing your markups. I'm just doing something rough here, nothing major, right? So you're familiar with doing this, okay? Right?
Yes.
All right. So Roger, man,
Yeah.
it took me a while to learn how to do what I'm showing you on the screen. But here's the good news, Roger. I'm going to show you a technology and Kirk that has eliminated the need to do a markup and a setup. What I'm trying to do right now is called a setup. I'm trying to trap the price of NAS in between these two sections and wait for it to break either above or below to try to get a trade. Generally, that's what traders do. Is that about right, Kirk? Along with some other things that we may use, Fibonacci retracement, blah, 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 blah. But Kirk, am I on track with that?
Yeah, but just all of us are trying to catch a move.
So what you're trying to do ultimately, right? If Roger and the new people like Chidi and so are to understand, what we're trying to figure out is NAS going to go up or go down? Is that what we're trying to figure out?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, correct.
Okay, great. So we ultimately want to know, is it going to continue to go up so that we could catch some of the move up, or is it going to go down so that we could catch some of the move down? If it's going down, we do a sell, make money. If it's going up, we do a buy, we make money. Okay, that's how trading works. That's the basics of it. But there's a lot of tools that are out there, and some of them are very heavy. Like TradingView is heavy. This took me a while just to be able to put these lines in. It took me a while to understand these buttons. But here's the great thing for you who's here. You will not have to go through all of that. And the reason is simply that Xtreamfx Global Academy, along with the education that we offer, so Chidi and Roger, you're going to be able to go through and understand the language of trading because we do have an education program for that. All right. So Roger, you got to be quiet while you're on the line, all right? All right. So we do have an education program, Roger and Chidi and all of our new people that's going to help you to be able to understand the language. You'll be able to understand what a pip is, what a lot size. You'll also have risk management. You'll learn how to manage an account. You learn how to set up a demo, how to set up a broker account. All of that we have in our education program and clearly outlined. You'll pay a small fee to be trained. If you are a student with a current student ID, you'll pay $89 a month. If you do not have one, you'll pay $99 a month. And then if you want to add, my friend Ali is here from Ethiopia, so I have to speak slower. All right, Ali, because Ali and some of his Ethiopian friends might be on here, and my fast-speaking Jamaican accent just messes up the English language, right? All right, Ali, are you out there?
Yeah.
All right, great. You getting used to my accent yet?
Really, it's very tough, but we're trying.
Okay, great. All right. So $159 per month is what you pay if you want to add Nadex and binary to the Forex education. And then let's talk about the safety trade technology. This is the game changer. This is what a lot of us in our community are extremely excited about because this has brought about a lot of positive change for traders. You'll pay $599 for a one-year license to have access to what I'm going to show you, Roger. And Kirk, especially Kirk, you can't sleep tonight, Kirk. I'm telling you straight, right? You will not be able to sleep tonight. And then $75 per month for the scanner. I'm going to show you the difference between the two. $75 a month is for the scanner. I'll come back to this shortly. And I'm gonna leave my speaker off so you'll hear all these beautiful sounds coming out of it. And hopefully you'll get to hear some. And then here's the technology. Here's the technology, right? And man, I knew that was gonna sell though. All right, that's my business. That's not your business, right? But I just knew that this was about to do a little sell. Okay, all right, let's get back to this. All right. So you trade indices, right? For those who wonder, Roger, are you there?
Yeah, listen. Yeah, man.
All right. So if you download today, you could download it, it's free. MetaTrader 4. It will not look like this. It's going to look more like this website I showed you earlier. It's going to look like this. But if you buy our technology, it will change your MetaTrader 4 to look like this. Okay? On the left are what are called symbols. Now, in this box here, this long box with red, yellow, blue, and green, this is where I'm right-clicking. I'm right-clicking, and can you see the word symbols? Do you see the word symbols? Do you see the word symbols, Roger?
No, no. But the internet kind of going out and in right now. The current left now.
Okay, all right. All right, so I'm going to keep going anyway, all right?
Yeah, I see the
So
word symbol
this,
now.
oh, you see the word symbols. Oh, so I clicked on it, and when I clicked on it, here are what are called the world. This is the world's financial market, the entire world, okay? If you click on this button that says FX majors, you'll see Australian dollar versus the US dollar, euro versus the US dollar, Great British pound versus the US dollar. At the bottom of this list is the US dollar versus the Japanese yen. If we go into this box called indices, this one, at the bottom you'll see US 30. Have you ever heard of the US 30, Roger?
No.
Okay, have you ever heard of NAS 100? NASDAQ
Nope.
100. Have you ever watched
Nope.
CNN and hear them talking about NAS 100 and the stocks going up and stocks going down? Have you ever heard them discuss that on the news?
You hear that?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so on your laptop right now, you have access to this market with a legal broker that every country, we have brokers that are legally registered in those countries, and it will give any ordinary everyday individual access to the financial markets, okay? You could also trade energy. Would you like to stay at the comforts of your home, at your dining table, bring out your laptop and trade oil in the United States on your laptop and make money? Buy and sell oil from your laptop. Would you like to do that, Roger?
Yeah.
All right. Would you like to trade gold and silver, all right, or platinum from the comforts of your laptop right there where you live? Would you like to do that?
Yes.
Yeah.
What about cryptos, right? Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dash, Solana, XRP, the things we're hearing about on the news. What about stocks like Amazon, Tesla, Google, Apple? Would you like to trade those, buy and sell them and make money from your home?
Yes, I would.
All right, great. So here's how this technology will allow you to do that very easily. All right. So I'm going to go to my friend Kirk. All right. Kirk, did you trade NAS today?
I'm actually at work, so I'm just listening while doing work.
All right, Kirk. Here's the thing, right?
I have like 2 days, like on a Wednesday and a Thursday to trade, so that's when I do my trading.
All right, great. So I'm going to open up the evening to you. All right. I'm going to open up the evening to you. I'm going to open up nighttime to you. I'm going to open up anytime you want to trade to you. All right. You're no longer going to be confined to the New York session. All right. All right. So here is the power of this now, Kirk. All right. Here's how sweet this is. This is really, really sweet. So Naz went on today. On the right is your 1 minute, on the left is a 5 minute. Roger, you're going to help us to identify a trade, even though you've never traded before. This system uses colors. All right. So I'm going to the beginning. Let me see if I could just find the beginning of today's session. All right. This blue box, this long blue box is the beginning of today's New York, London session overlap. All right. So let's just look at that area. Let's look at this area. This is where Kirk, a lot of volume, right? A lot of movement happens here, right? This is a very exciting time in the market, right?
Correct.
Right, wonderful. So Roger, you've never traded before. So you're going to help us to identify a trade. Now, these green and red things, what are they called, Kirk? What do we call these green and red things that are the green things running up and the red things running down? What do we call those? What's the name given to them?
Candles.
Candles, right. So for your purposes, Roger, they're called candlesticks, okay? That's it.
Candlesticks, yeah.
At any point in time where these candles are, if you look to the right, you'll see a white number. Do you see a white number running up and down? Do you see a white number, Roger?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, so wherever the candles are at a particular point in time, that's the price of NAS 100. NAS 100 are the top 100 technology stocks in the United States bundled together. That's basically what it is, right? In basic terms. You are going to be able to buy some or sell some to potentially make a profit if you do this correctly, all right? So going along, you're seeing that the candles are above this green line. Do you agree with me that the candles, these candles are above this green line running on my screen? Do you agree with that,
Yeah.
Roger?
yeah,
Right. That's the first thing that you'd need to identify. Okay, so the candles are above. And then the second thing that we're going to look for is a red down arrow. Can you see a red down arrow on the screen?
yeah.
Yes.
All right. So let me go to Kirk. So Kirk, right? When the market is pushing down like this, right? The market is up, it's pushing down, selling off, right? What are traders tempted to do when the market is doing this? What type of trade are we tempted to put in? Are you there, Kirk? A sell.
A sell.
Right. Right. So I've seen this happen where the candles are running down, and I jump into a sell, and then before you know it, it reverses and I end up losing money. Has that ever happened to you, Kirk?
A lot of times.
A lot of times. All right. So I'm going to show you how to minimize and possibly eliminate it happening to you. All right. So this system gave us a red arrow to say the market is going down, but we need to wait on two more things. The first thing was the price was above the green line. It's called a moving average. The second is the red arrow popped up. So Roger, two things you're going to note: the price was above, the red arrow popped up. Then we need to wait for our 5 indicators, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, to be the same color as the red down arrow. Are all these 5 indicators the same color, Roger, as the red arrow pointing down? Are they the same color?
No.
No,
No. Thank you. And Kirk, are they the same color? Kirk, are you with me still?
Yeah.
I'm with you, but I had to look away from my screen. What are we looking for? Consistency of the same color?
Yes, the 5 indicators at the bottom. They're called These are indicators. 1, 2,
Yeah, I
3,
know
4,
they're
5.
indicators, right?
Are they the same color?
No.
All right, great. So we need to wait 1 minute at a time, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute for them to be all the same color, right? So we're going across every minute a candle pops on the screen. This is how it works, Roger. You're going to see this happening. And then we're going to see everything turns the same color. Is everything red now?
No,
Right.
we
So
haven't.
everything is now red. Great, great. Do you agree with Kirk, Roger, that everything is red?
no, everything in red. No.
All right, wonderful, wonderful. So as we're going along, we're going to wait for the 4th one from the bottom to turn green. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the 4th one from the bottom, we're waiting for it to turn green. So let's go 1 minute at a time, 1 minute at a time, 1 minute at a time, 1 minute at a time. Do you see a couple of green dots on the screen? Do you see some green dots on the screen? A little green dot, just one little green dot, maybe 2. Do you see those green dots? Roger, do you see them? Kurt, do you see them?
Yeah,
Can you see a little green speck right here? Can you see that?
yeah.
Unfortunately, I can't see it on my phone.
You could just put your fingers over that little edge and just stretch it open and it will widen it. You could see that it's green, right? Can you see that it's green now? Can you see? I put a little bit more, right?
Yeah, that's it again.
All right, great. So Roger, you're going to practice. Kirk already knows how to do this, but you're going to practice. In this box up here is called price. You're going to right click, look for the word trading, then look for the word new order, and then you're going to put in what's called a pending order, which is going to be what's called a sell stop. All right, a sell stop is not an active trade until the market goes in the direction of where you put it. Okay, so we're going to put a sell stop just below the line, and beginners will go for 1 to 3 pips. And NAS, this is about 3 pips or a little bit more on NAS, depending on time of the day. This could even be 10 pips with NAS, right? So NAS 3 pips is even much smaller than that. but I'm going to leave it there. All right. Okay. So let's slide forward and see what happens. So Kirk, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. So right now, where this green candle is, price should be above this line, right?
Yeah.
Where this green candle is, price should be above this line, right?
Yes.
Right. So if price turns around and comes down and touches the top line, right, and then go through our second line, what would have happened, Kirk? Would Roger make any money if this happened?
When it goes to the first line, it's going to pick up the order, and then when it have you put in a take profit as yet?
Yes, the bottom line is the take profit, and above that would be our stop loss.
Okay, when it hits the bottom line, you collect your money.
You collect your money. All right, let's go and see what happened. One candle at a time. One candle, two candles. What happened there? What happened there, Kirk? What happened to Roger's account?
It's blue.
Blue. What does blue mean, Roger? Do you think you know what blue means, Roger? It's not red. Your account is not red. It's blue. It's beautiful.
Blue.
All right. So here's this trade one. So this system identifies the trade with four things. One, the price is above. Two, the red arrow popped up. Three, everything turned red. Four, this turned to the opposite color, which is green. Let's slide forward again to see if the same thing happened again. All right. And then here's the thing about this curve. As price is going up and down, it's difficult to know when to get into the market. If you're on a trading view and you're seeing the candles going down and back up, down and back up, down, then it's kind of risky to jump in hoping that it's going to continue in that direction, and oftentimes it reverses and we lose money. Isn't that true, Kirk?
Correct.
Right. So this system is saying, don't do that. Just wait until everything lines up. All right. This little green dot is called a base indicator. You know, it's really a fake out indicator because the banks push the market in the opposite direction, give us the feeling that the market is going in that direction because they have a lot of money to do that. And then they turn it around and go in where the market was directed. And a lot of people stop losses and a lot of people lose money jumping in the wrong direction. All right. So here's another one. Can you see another one setting up right here, Kirk? Can you see another bunch of green? Right. We had a bullish engulfing candle pushing up there. Right. Even though it's a 1 minute, still bullish engulfing, right? And then let's see if the market turned around and went down and went in our direction. Okay, let's see what happened. This is the second time it's happening. Let's see if that happened, right? Okay, so it came down, went back up, right? And then what's called the buck broke, right? This red turned to green. Whenever we see this happening, it invalidates this trade. You should no longer wait for the market to come and put you in that trade. Okay, and if it wicks you in, you should have had your stop loss a little bit above here, so you would have potentially lost that trade if it wicked you in. But if you were down low enough, it wouldn't, and then you would not have been in that trade, all right? Okay, sorry, so that went on. And then everything turned green. Let's see what happens when everything is green, Roger and Kirk. Let's see what happens. What are we now waiting for the fourth level to turn? What color are we waiting for the fourth level to turn? What color are we waiting for the fourth level to turn to? Roger or Kirk? Red, yes. Red. You see how simple the system is? So when everything is red, you're looking for sells. When everything is green, you're looking for buys. So we're waiting to see if we get a dot of red. We almost got it there. And sometimes you don't get the red. So intermediate level traders are going to trade these gaps between the yellow line and the green. But you have to practice the system quite a bit to take those before you know how to do those, right? So the market bought up. It didn't give you the red, right? It didn't give us the red on that time frame. But if we went to a higher time frame, the 5 minute, I'm sure you're going to find a red, right? You could see here, green, 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 green. This is a 5 minute chart. Do you see that red right there, Roger? Or do you see that blob of red?
Yeah, I see a dot of red.
All right, so we go ahead and put our entry just above the moving average. And beginners, you're going for 1 to 2 to 3 pips, okay? And what happened there? What happened there, Kirk? What would have happened to Roger's account, Kirk?
Blue again.
Blue again. So the system is precise and exact. It predicts the direction that the market is going in using the simple color scheme of red and green. It is no more than that for the beginners. This beginner trade is called a safety trade. 99% of the time, this trade wins. There are other trades here. Okay, there are many more trades here, but this is the trade for beginners. And a lot of people just stay in beginner phase and simply earn, pips. Now, Kirk, all right, this is how, Kirk, I know you're interested in all these pips going up to here, right? Kirk, right? I know you'd like to get these pips going all the way up to the up to maybe up here. Is that right, Kirk? From here to here, right?
I would like to get more than 3 pips.
All right, so here's how you do that. For Kirk and those who are intermediate level, advanced level, what you do is open up 2 trades at the same entries, buy stops, right? Open up 2. As soon as they're 5 to 10 pips in profit, close one down at 5 to 10 pips. All right, so you close down the first, you close down one. The second one, your stop loss would have been below this hook here. Your stop loss would have been just below this hook, right? You move your stop loss from down here to entry. And then you let the second one run. And then you could gradually adjust your stop loss to stop profit and follow it up until it reverses and taps you out. Do you understand that, Kirk?
Yeah, I don't know. I follow you. I follow you.
You follow me? All right, great. All right, so let's say now, Kirk, because I know you're busy, you have work, being able to scalp. I'm going to show you something that NAS allows for you to, well, this system will allow for you to do on the 4-hour and the 1-hour charts. Because I wasn't big on troubling the 4 and 1-hour charts because, these trades take a long time to develop. But after I saw the success that was happening with them, I had to pay attention. Roger, man, this is serious stuff, right? So here's what happens. Based on what we discussed, based on what we discussed, when this happens, red, 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 green, red, what type of trade would that be, Kirk? Roger, what type of trade would that be?
You're looking for a sell.
Looking for a sell, exactly. So would I put our entry point just below the 1-hour line, right? But below the trade line on the 1-hour chart, and each of these candles take a full 1 hour to come on the chart. Full 1 hour. So between this one, that's 3 hours, Roger. This red candle, this red candle, this red candle, that's 3 hours out of the day. So we would not be sitting down on the laptop watching this. We would be putting in the trade and then just waiting for time to pass by. Okay? So let's check to see how many pips you could have won on this trade. All right, let's just go down to here. Let's say you took it when it started to reverse here. You came out, when this candle turned green here, you came out there. All right, so that's 143 pips between where the entry is and here where you could have potentially exited that trade. Okay, if you won 143 pips, Kirk, on this NAS, and you traded $1 per pip, how much would you earn from that trade?
$1 pip, 143 pips.
Yes.
$140.
$143. Thank you. All right. So let me ask you, if you traded $10 per pip, how much would Roger earn if he was able to trade $10 per pip?
That's $10 a pip. That's a standard block, $1,430.
That's right. Roger, do you believe that all this time we've been working so hard for $1,400 and we could literally do it in 2 hours using something called NAS 100 on our laptop from home? Ladies and gentlemen, it's a new day, it's a new dawn. I'm telling you. All right, so here's the thing now, Roger. All right, let's keep going. Let's say you had 2 trades open. You close one, 5 to 10 pips. The other one is still open, right? Yeah. Right here is another entry. Red, 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 green, red, right? So the first trade that you open is still running. The second opportunity to re-enter the market came here. So you're entering a fresh trade down below here. You're coming in with another 2, right? You could close one after 10 pips, leave the other one to run. Okay? So let's start to see what's going on right now. All right? It still hasn't come back to tap you out yet because you'd have put the second one, the stop loss should be at entry for both of these. It didn't come back to knock you out. You have risk-free trades running. This one looked like it tapped you out here, but you'd have been able to put in another trade down here, all right? So then we have another trade down here running. Ladies and gentlemen, let's look at what happened here. Let's look at what happened here. is the market's, in fact, it just started to reverse. And maybe it's a reverse and maybe it's not. But you could have literally closed the trade down here because this looks like a reversal pattern, right? You could have traded the first, closed the very first one down here and maybe, you know, leave a couple open, but you could have closed the first one. Now, this is 701 pips. 701 pips. If you closed it down here, this would be 764 pips, Kirk. Kirk, let me ask Kirk a question, Kirk. And Kirk, if you could answer this and help me, right? And help everybody. Okay, Kirk?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's the question?
All right. So can somebody trade, could somebody open this trade up here, this first trade with 0.01 lot size on NAS? Can somebody open that trade with a $100 account on some brokers?
Yes.
Correct. So with $100, opening it up at 0.01 with this trade that happened here, the system called it out, not me, the system called it out, and you allowed the trade to develop, you allowed it to run down, and let's say you held on to that trade down to here, and you won 700 and something pips in that trade. How much would they earn? How much would the person earn per?
$770.
$743. And they would have used a $100 account. Ladies and gentlemen, I want us to understand the power of what it is that we have our hands on. And I'm not hyping. This is just what it is. It's not trying to be overzealous. It's not trying to be hypothetical. No, you're going to have to learn how to manage an account, because here's the biggest challenge we're all going to run into: greed. That's the biggest challenge we're going to run into, because the system is great. It's going to give us accurate data. And all you have to do is not over leverage your account. Don't be greedy. You know, do your trades, take your time, allow the trades to develop, follow the rules. There are certain rules that the system has that you're going to follow. And man, just do your thing and win your trades and make your money. This is an amazing technology, Kirk and Roger. Amazing. Let's look at a buy. Let's go back to Naz here on a 1 hour chart, right? And let me go to the daily. Let me go to the daily, because let me go to 4 hour. All right, some of you may not have time to do to do that. So let's look at this 4 hour trade, Kirk, right? Green, 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 red, green. What type of trade would we do at this point where this blob of red is? What type of trade would we do here? Green, 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 red, green. What type of trade would we do?
Buy stop.
A buy stop. So we put a buy stop just above the line, and you could see what I've done the trade about right here. And then you could have had it closer to the line, but let's say, you know, you had it just above the line. So the trade is active right here. Okay, the trade would have activated right there. Can we see that? Okay, trade would have activated right there. And then time is passing by. Now, these are 4 hour candles. So every 6 candles is a full day. All right, so let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Okay, we keep moving forward. All right, came down, didn't tap us out, went back up. All right, you closed down one already. All right, so you made money on one, but you have one running over the long term. Let's look at how many pips you would have collected on this one trade, Kirk. Let's look at how many pips you'd have collected on this one trade. That started back, I think that would have been May or something like that date, all right? Let's look and see what happens, because the market is still going on, it's still buying up, came down a bit. So let's say you chose to exit here. when it started going sideways instead of up, right? And you jumped out here. That's 4,040 pips. Kirk. Would you like to have had put in a trade? And let's look at the date that we did it. Let me just find the date that we did it down here, right? Let me just find the date we did it, Kirk. The date we did this would have been that's actually January 2020, right? Would you like to have put in a trade and hold on for it for 8 months and win 4,000 pips with even a 0.05 lot size, Kirk?
Absolutely, but here's the catch with that, right? The brokers are not going to allow you to do that.
Of course they will.
Yeah, they're
Yes,
going
the
to
developer.
find the spread.
Kirk, let me stop you right there, Kirk. The developer for this technology, if you go to his YouTube channel, you'll see trades that he has open since March. That's called a swing trade. Okay.
Yeah, but your leverage
saw
have to,
he showed
you have to
us
have
a
enough
trade.
capital,
Wait, Kirk.
and you have to
He
be,
showed
your
us a
mindset
trade. He
and
showed
leverage
us a single trade
have to be
that is
very
up.
good.
Yeah, he showed us a single trade that is up 900 points. 1,400 pips. A single trade. Okay? That has been open. He has a trade open since March. And I've seen a couple of them. So, but what happens, you have something called swap fees that will happen every day. But the swap fees are relatively small compared to what is that you're making on the trade. So,
you have to
but
do
of
you have
course,
to do that on big accounts, not small accounts.
I agree. You know, but I want to point out that you don't need a lot of money to hold on to a trade. All right. Of course, you know, I wouldn't, if you only have $100 to trade, you wouldn't trade a 4 hour and a 1 hour. You're better off scamming. Okay. But the point is that the opportunity is there. All right. And what's giving us the data to put in the trade is that we have the system to give us the entry. Without this, we'd be just guessing. All right. But the design of the system literally uses 23 indicators to give us green, 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 red, green. It's just 4 things that we look for, but there are 23 different things happening in the background. Okay, I won't try to detail them because I'm not an expert about it. The developers explain that to us in the training. Anybody who buys the technology, at this stage, the developer trains us. So Kirk, man, I'm telling you, even if you're not going to trade a 1 hour, 4 hour trades, and you're going to stick to the scalping and do 1 minute, 5 minute, the reality is that the system gives you the information. So it will eliminate you having to do markups. You don't have to do any setups. You simply have to just wait on these parameters to be met. That's it. Just wait for them to be met. So just like this is our gap, but let's look on the 5 minute here. And we sing scroll. Sorry to cut you off, Kirk. All right, you know, my apologies. I'm generally I'm not a rude kind of guy. Right. So I feel a little bad I cut you off. But it's just that the brokers do allow us to hold those, right? It's just that you have to pay swap fees. Okay. All right.
Guys, hi everybody. Coach Andrew here.
Hey.
There are some brokers.
Coach Andrew is my newborn friend.
There are a few brokers that don't charge swap fees either that are good brokers for the swing traders. So if you're swing trading, you just have to know which broker to work with. I kind of jumped in on y'all. Hi, Kirk.
Yeah, no, hey, Kirk. Coach you know Coach Andrew. So you know the validity, the validity
yeah, so Kirk, 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 I don't endorse everything. So I endorse this one.
and you know, I'm listening from the north south.
Huh?
You know, I'm listening from the north south.
Yeah, no, but you're good. This one is good. They're inexperienced traders who are doing very well with the system. I think the people who are having the problem are the experienced traders.
That's generally what happens. Yeah, because we have so much perspective on
traders. They're just following the rules, following the guidelines, and they are being profitable for once in their life. So I fully endorse it, Kirk.
Thank you, Coach Andrea. The Coach Andrea, come see me today.
Well, I don't, in all fairness to Kirk, I don't think
doing well so far.
Yeah, what happens is that you're gonna pay the swap fees, and you even if the account goes down, what happens is that as long as you have enough equity, it will withstand it, you know.
Yeah, so the only risk is this, Kirk, on a day trade. Let's look at a day trade again. The only let's have a look at a day. Let's start at 4 hour, right? The only risk with this is that when you put it in, let's say you put it in here, right? The only risk you have, not the only risk, but the risk you have is that when you put in your entry, if you don't have enough to deal with this 109, 100 and the pullback here was 109 pips. If you had to deal with a pullback. So if you don't have 100 and if you don't have an account that can take the pullback, or you have to decide, you know what, I'm going to put in the trade and I'm going to risk, $200. Let me just use that as an example. And you set your stop loss on a big trade like this because you're looking for the trade to run up and you need to give it some breathing space, right? So let's say you put in 150 pip stop loss because it's NAS. Then you'd have to have, depending on your lot size, you know what type of account size you'd have to be able to deal with that. And you decide how much you're going to risk on that particular trade. And then if it goes in your direction, then As soon as it gets into profit, you move your stop loss from down here and put your stop loss into stop profit. And now you have a risk-free trade. So if it continues to go up, you simply just adjust your stop profit and follow the trade until it reverses and taps you out. Okay? But if you open two at the beginning, take some pips out of the first one, leave the second one at entry, the only way it knocks you out is if it comes back to entry. Now, you don't want to stay at entry as it climbs. You want to shift to your stop loss. I don't know the new people, that's language and stop loss and this and that is kind of throwing you off a bit, but don't worry about that. I didn't know all of this language just recently. So don't worry. You're going to learn the language. You'll understand what that means. You'll understand what he's referring to, and it will make sense to you eventually. At the first time, I got a headache. So don't feel bad if you feel left out of the conversation that Coach Andrea Kirk is having, and I know Roger, would have not been able to participate fully in that part. But the basics of it is this: green, 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 red, green, put in an entry, right? Observe putting in a stop loss at the right place. And then if it goes in your direction, and 99% of the time it does, then you start to collect some profit. That's simply what it is. And I know, it seems oversimplified, but it's not. The system has been designed to give us an entry that is safe, and it uses the colors to give us the entry. Whether you're going to use the colors for an entry for a buy, or use the colors for an entry for a sell. And if we observe the rules and we do not, obliterate them and follow the rules, you'll be okay. And then for those people who like trading the higher time frames, these 4 and 1 hour trades are very wonderful, because it gives you an opportunity to put a trade in and allow it to develop over time, and you do not have to sit down over your computer and watch it. The 1 minute, 5 minute, you have to watch those. You have to be on them like white and rice, okay? But we get some help with the 1 minute, 5 minute. All right, so here's the help, the scanner. The scanner scans the market and sends you the setup. So for example, right now, there on USD Chef, there's a 5 minute sell. On XPT USD, there's a 5 minute buy. On EOS USD, which is a crypto, there's a 1 minute sell. And on AUD CAD, there's a 5 minute buy. So if we went over to the technology, it would send the scanner sends us a message to tell us when there's a trade setup. So once we get that message, we can go here, and it was AUD CAD. Was it AUD CAD or AUD USD? Slipped me already. All right, I think it was AUD. Okay, so it's AUD CAD, right? On the 5 minute. Okay, AUD CAD on the 5 minute. So it's still, I would need to look at the 15-minute chart to see what's going on there. So this is a nice little setup for the 1 minute is showing like what we call a sell, but it's a nice little setup for a buy. Okay, so anybody who has this, you could watch this later on this evening and see if it pushes up into a buy. It could literally come back and check it yourself. Okay, and you could verify that the trade is correct. So this is powerful, that we have a technology that sends us the message, the scanner. It's $75 US a month. All right, $75 US a month. Sends us the scanner. It's not sends us the scanner. Sends us the setup on indices, right? You're going to get set up on indices. You like trading indices, Kirk. You're going to get set up on Forex peers. Here's the system calling out too. Let me just unmute it. So the system says, okay, give me a second. So let's quickly look at this Euro CAD, right? Get it, because the market's almost closed. 8 minutes from close. Euro CAD, 1 minute sell. Let's quickly look at that. Euro CAD 1 minute sell. So the system calls out a trade on a 1 minute time frame for a sell on Euro CAD, okay? And then we're gonna put the 5 minutes on the left, the 1 minute on the right. That's how you should look at it, right? So the 5 minutes is over here, and the 1 minute is on the right. So right now there's a 1 minute call. The system said, if you look at it, it's red, 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 green, red. So the system called it out, and when the system called it out, if we were a little bit faster, right? When it called it out, would have been able to put in our entry there. And Kirk, are we already in profit on this trade? Are we, if we caught it on time? I would not put it in again because I'm a little late. But if we had caught this on time, would we have won the trade? Are you still with me, Kirk? Or Peter?
Yes.
Based on
yes.
Would we have won this trade?
Yes.
Yes. So here's how powerful the scanner is. It sends out about 2,000 of these messages every day. Here's GPB USD, Great British Pound US dollar. So this one, we validated at this one. Let's go ahead, and that was a 1 minute trade, but you have to be very fast with those. And then GBP USD over here, let's look and see what's happening on the 1 minute chart. This is a what? A sell. Red, 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 green, red. All right, it shot up. Okay, and if we were here long enough to wait, but at the end of the day, we shouldn't be trading right now anyway. We should not be trading right now. It's too late for that. But I'm just going to put it here just to demonstrate the point. Okay, we could see that the market is pushing back down. So it was a fake out. It was not a real move. The market was not a buy. The market is still selling. Let me see the 5 minute chart on the GBP USD. It's buying. So I would not jump into this sell, personally, but you'll get some training as to why not, because the 5 minute and the 1 minute are not in alignment. If you notice, the 5 minute is showing a buy and the 1 minute is showing a sell. And you have to be very fast to make money out of this sell. You have to be very quick. Right? This will just dip down under here and turn back because this is a buy over here. The 5 minute, you'll be better off going for the GBP USD buy, because that's, that's the 15 minute time frame. 15 minute time frame is a buy. So I would be looking to do that 5 minute buy. I would not be looking to jump into this 1 minute sell. Okay? But the system is going to send you bunches of them. It was a sell stop 3, SSS 3. So because it says SSS 3, if it said SSS 1, the 5 minute and the 1 minute time frame would have been in agreement. But when it says SSS 3, those are advanced level traders who scalp and who know what they're doing. And you would have gotten your entry somewhere up here, and you'd have grabbed your 3 pips quick, fast, and you're out of there. Okay? For those who would have wanted to trade that type of trade, I don't mess with those. I don't play with those. Those are just too fast. Okay. All right. But they're there. Okay. The system gives you them. And if you want to use them as your business, I don't trouble those. Those are very advanced level trades. I don't trouble those. Thank you for that. So question, who had the question? Was it you, Kirk?
Yeah, I noticed that it looks like the scanner is on TradingView, and the actual
It's not. It's not on TradingView.
Okay, it's on MT4.
It's actually a website. So
okay, it's a website. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So what it's really doing is just delivering data to us to tell us when there's a setup.
All right. So everything it's on MT4 for the software.
Yes. The software. Yes. The software is going to be on your laptop. You download MT4 and then you purchase the technology. You'll get a set of indicators that you load into your MetaTrader 4, and then your MetaTrader 4 will look like this. And then, yeah, and that's what you pay $5.99 for. It includes for the first month the scanner. So we get the scanner for free the first month to test it out, try it out. If you want to keep the scanner, you pay $75 every month to have the scanner to scan the symbols and send you the setups. You got that? Right?
Yeah, I got that. I'm good.
Right. All right. Wonderful. And here's the thing. You also have what's called a top 10. So if you click on indices, for the last 10 1 minute indices trades are here. You could go and check to see which one of them are still useful. You also have the last 10 5 minute trades. You have the last 10 15 minute, 30 minute, 1 hour, 4 hour, and even daily. Right? You have all of those that the system called out on the indices. So if you're an indices trader, you could definitely, run through all of those time frames. And then they have the last 10 Forex peers. Okay, the same thing again, all these time frames. You also have the last 10 cryptocurrencies. Right? So if you're a crypto trader, all right, last 10 cryptos, BTC, Ethereum, Solana, etc., are stocks. Facebook, Apple, Google, Ford. Right, Toyota, IBM, you could trade all of those, ladies and gentlemen. This is an abundance system. This system is designed, and we're already seeing. We saw Esther. Esther just bought the system. She was a trader before, Perks, like you. She didn't know how to trade, and she learned how to use the system. On the first day, she used the scanner. The first day she used this, she earned $600, which is what we pay for the technology. Okay, 2 Fridays ago, she earned $3,000 in 90 minutes. Because you're getting a lot of different trade ideas. You do not have to do markups anymore unless you still want to, but you don't have to. GBP CAD, 1 minute sell stop 3. So this one means the 1 minute and the 5 minute are different, but we could still look at it for look at its sake, right? But that wouldn't be a trade. I would not run that trade down personally. But you could if you want to. You know, nobody's telling you what to do. I'm just sharing with you how I approach. All right. So here we could see this is already selling back off. We could see it went up. Okay, it went up, right? You know, went up, created this opportunity for this to turn green, red, 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 green, red, right? You could see that it was up. And then if we were fast enough, we would have been able to get a little bit out of that. But that's a sell stop 3. So I wouldn't do a sell stop 3. I would only do sell stop 1s, and I don't do the 3s. They're too fast. Okay, all right. So that's the scanner. It's $75 a month, and the technology you pay $599. You have, man, this is amazing, guys. I'm just looking at when we looked at the NAS earlier, and just looking at right now. If you look at the NAS and you go to the daily chart, you see it's set up for another daily buy. Okay, telling you no, you see the system is calling it out, not me. So here we're going to put in, for those who want to do those dailies, okay, this takes a long time to develop. This will take you probably months before you get a decent, well, you get a lot of pips in the long run, okay? But you could put in a daily if you want. Or if that is just too long for some of you, to drop it down to the 4 hour, and the 4 hour gives you some other opportunities that right now the market's sold off, and it might continue selling some more before it reverses back into a buy. And the 1 hour looks like it's starting to reverse its trend. Let's see, all right? It's looking that way. The 30-minute is starting to set up for a buy, and the 15 minutes starting to set up for a buy, and the 5 minute is already buying, and it looks like it's going to give us a setup, right? So once this turns red on the 5 minute, as it did over here, right here, it's another setup for another buy, okay? On the 5 minute chart on NAS. And we just put in our entries and take our profit. The 1 minute, is it buying like crazy? Right? So, man, I'm just happy, right? So it sold off earlier, right? It sold off earlier, and it's here. You could see, a nice little setup for the 5 minute, right? Nice little setup for the 5 minute to buy back, right?
The 5 minute did awesome today on the buy up. You showed them, let them look at that 5 minutes.
The 5 minute was amazing, right? Look at this. Look at this right here.
Yeah.
Look at this right here. Okay, so guys, let's look at how many pips you could have won on NAS, right? Coach Andrew, that's 166 pips in this one move. One move, one trade, one trade, guys, one trade that the system gave us the data on. And all you could have done is put in 2, close one at 5 to 10 pips, leave the other one to run, and just adjust your stop profit, because you're no longer being lost. You're being stop profit now. And just adjust it. And it could still just, and I believe we might get some more run up. That's my thinking. And for those who have the system, here's why. It got to the 4 hour line already. So when it's here, we might get some sell off, right? If you notice, it's sold off here, right? It's sold off here. It's sold off here. And this is where it came below the 4 hour. So here we could see some sell off, right? We could see a 4 hour sell off before it reverses again and comes back up for the buy. Okay, just bear that in mind. So look out for this 4 hour, because when this turns green right here, this is a 4 hour that's in motion, and it will sell first before it turns back around and goes up and buys. So these buys that are happening down here, they're basically buying up to activate the higher time frame sells. That's how this works, right? So the 4 hour, you're gonna see a 4 hour sell off. So look out for that. Okay, I'm giving you notice on that, so you know those are the system. Just pay attention to and not just NAS, it's happening on all the 3 indices, right? NAS 100, US 30, okay, it's happening. And also we have what's called the blue line. I won't even bother to talk about that. But today, the blue line on US 30, right? I sent out a little video about that on the 1 minute. It was on the 1 minute. Yeah, it was on the 1 minute, right? 90 pips. That is literally for free, okay? 90 pips, okay? What happens is that NAS, US 30, and S&P, they trade as one, and the system uses blue line So once two of them have crossed the blue line, the third is going to cross. Whichever two cross first, you could put your pot on fire, the third is going to cross. So if you see that NAS and US 30 have crossed, S&P is going to cross if it hasn't crossed yet. If you see that NAS and S&P has crossed and US 30 hasn't crossed, it's going to cross. So once you have the system, right, that's Jamaican for you. So once you have the system, you can literally predict what's going to happen to the third index just based on how the indices function, okay? Just understand that that is also in the system. So you could do what's called trade to the blue line. So right now, if we look at the 1 minute chart and we put S&P first, you can see that S&P is on the 1 minute chart, all right? On the 1 minute chart, S&P is above the blue line, okay? If we look at NAS, NAS is above the blue line, all right? Above the blue line. We look at US 30, where's US 30, right? US 30 is below the blue line. So if one of these go below the blue line, either NAS or S&P, whichever one goes first, just know that the second one is going too, okay? Just understand that. So you'll be able to move with that information if you have the system. So that way, you know, okay, so if S&P comes down here or NAS comes down here first, you know, the third one is going to come. So wherever it is, you could try to catch the pips between where it is and the blue line. Okay. All right. That's some extra stuff, right? I shouldn't even tell you that, but I'm happy and grateful. All right. All right, guys, there's a lot here. We haven't even talked about filling the gap. And man, Coach Andrea, man, I mean, I'm catching up real fast.
Nice, right? Nice. I saw that German 30 did nice today too.
Oh man, look, let's take a look at it. Guys, you could trade. Oh, see, let's change this to 5 minutes. All right, look at how beautiful this system is. All right, it gives you all this data. Oh, my camera is on. All right, all right. You know, let's do this. All right, let's do this. All right. Okay, so here it is. Right, here it is. All right, here it is. All right, 5 minute. 5 minute chart, all right? 5 minutes. Look at all these 5 minute trades. 1, boom. 2, boom. Up. You see, once you see the green, red, green, see right here, okay? Right after that, see it buys up. Again, lines up, buys up, okay? All right, happens again, buys up. Oh, caution. The first and second ones are usually the best. The second and the third, be careful, okay? That's when the reversal sometimes is happening, all right? Just bear that in mind, okay? And practice using the training. You're going to get trained by the developer at this stage. Soon, we're not going to have the developer to do that. So if I were you, I'd jump and get my technology now so that you could get some training from the developer, all right? Okay, any other questions from anyone else?
Yes, please. I have a question.
Please go ahead.
Now,
Bhavna, am I saying it right?
Yeah, you can call me back as well. That's fine.
Okay, all right.
Right. When we're looking for the confirmation of change the color on the fourth indicator from the bottom.
Go ahead. When you're looking for it, what happens?
Yeah, when that color changes on the indicator, like when it's red, and then when we see the green dot, and we put the trade on. Yeah, that's the one. Now, do we get into the trade as soon as we see the first dot, or do we wait for a few dots?
Okay, so the trade you're going to put in is called a pending order.
Yes.
Have you ever put in a pending order trade before?
Yes.
All right, so the trade is not active until the market turns around. Okay. So right now the green candle is here, so the price should have been above, right? When the green happens. So when this is green, the candle is above this wavy green line.
Yeah.
So when you put your sell stop below this line, unless the only way you're going to have an open trade is if it turns around and goes down. So you put in your entry, and as a beginner, you go for 1 to 3 pips. All right, 1 to 3 pips.
Yeah.
So let's see if you would have won that trade. Could you see that you would have won that trade?
Yeah.
All right, because it turned around and it went down. Okay, right. And this is a trade the system called out. So the system sent us that message. This is what? GBP CAD, right? We were looking at it earlier. Red, 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 green, red. And then you'd have put in your entry when the green candle was up here, and then wait for it to turn around and come back down, which it did.
Right. And the other thing is, like we have the scanner and the system. Now, if we're scalping on a 1 minute time frame, now by the time we look on the scanner and come back to our charts, it might be late for the entry, wouldn't be sometimes?
Yes, correct. You're going to miss quite a few of them.
So, like, say if I have 2 laptops, will I be able to have like scanner on one laptop and the,
Yes.
or you can't, can you do that?
Yes. Yes, you can. You could have your scanner on your phone, your laptop, and your MT4 open. So you could have your MT4 open and your scanner running on a laptop beside it. So as soon as the period is called out, you bring it up.
Yeah.
Will I be able to?
You
Sorry.
gave me an idea, Bob, now.
That's because I've done this. That's why I'm asking you. No, not with the scanner, but you do need multiple screens to if you want to be
If
really.
you want to move with speed, and because I'm
Yeah.
telling you, the amount of times damn.
Exactly. Because by the time you faff around the screens, you miss the entry anyway.
Yeah,
Correct.
you should have your scanner on a separate screen if you can. Tablet, phone,
Yeah.
computer. It really makes a big difference. And
It
only
does.
do the pairs that you trade, so you don't have a whole lot of unnecessary data.
Sure. And like, what does the academy include, and how do the trainings and everything happens in the education?
Wonderful question. All right, so this is the platform, Xtreamfx Global Academy, Xtreamfxglobal.net. You could write down the website name. You see here, right? Xtreamfxglobal.net. That's our website address. And then once you have registered, you're going to register. I recommend that you start as an affiliate, simply because if you do introduce anyone, and you should, I think the right thing to do is to introduce others, because if somebody didn't call us and tell us, we would not have heard about this great technology. So we should share it with other people. All right, so $168 is an affiliate, and it includes all the education, all right, if you're an affiliate.
Right.
You can also join at the $249 affiliate pro level. There are some additional services you could read through to see which one of them you prefer. Once you have paid, then you'll have access to what's called your back office. Now, the back office, let me just log in here into mine. Give me a second. All right. All right, so you log into your back office, and then you have access to a range of services, right? So if you look over here under affiliate members to the left, where the menu is, you'll see a range of education class schedule, for its glossary, and then the affiliate members. Under affiliate members, you'll have a list of services, affiliate pro in my case, and then you have the FX library and archives. You have the live Zoom to attend live trading classes. We have access to trade ideas that get sent to us through Telegram. We also have a charting Telegram for those who chart up and want to chart up, do charting, and Nadex as well. So let's look at the library and the archives. On the library, in the back office, you could go through beginner, intermediate, and advanced. And then the live classes under these tabs are the archives. So the history of the London sessions that our master traders do, the Asian sessions and the New York sessions, the recording of those sessions are here. So if you cannot attend the live session, you could always watch the recording. And then the beginner, academy, intermediate section, advanced section. So somebody who is a beginner like Chidi, all right, Chidi, you need to watch these videos. That's what I watched to learn how to do this, right? Why Forex trading basics, why become a trader, then trading time sessions, Forex versus stocks, currency pairs, demo, setup, trade accounts, leverage and lot size, what is that pip, bullish, bearish markets, candlesticks, pip plan, risk management. This is very important. Risk management, very important, very, very important video. All of them are important, but risk management is very, very important. Okay, and then support resistance, which is not so much necessary as it used to be, but it's still good to learn about it. And then entering and closing a trade, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All right. So that's the so some of, not all of, some of what is here. Is that helpful?
Yes, it is. And like there is a session for live sessions or something like that, live Zooms.
Yes, so the live Zooms, the FX live Zoom under here, right right here, FX Live Zoom. This is
What
where
time-
live
yeah,
classes
what-
occur.
What
And then we
time
have
they
a
are on?
schedule. We have a schedule. Here's the education class schedule. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And once a month you have a Saturday event. But these are the different times. So your schedule is right here in the back office. All you have to do is just click on it and come on and convert the time to your time zone.
Right, okay. Which broker would you recommend for UK, London based?
Well, the great thing is that any broker that you're already comfortable with, you could use to do the trading.
Mhm.
And the setting up of the indicators on the laptop has to be done with either Hugo's Way or EagleFX.com. That's just the setup. But you
Right.
do not have to trade with those brokers. You could trade with your existing broker and
Mm.
simply use the data from the system to tell you what to do.
Oh, okay. So you don't have to have an account with them.
No, you do not have to. So this is just data that you're essentially paying for
Right.
to know when to go into a trade. That's basically what you're paying for.
Will this be, I mean, can this be installed on MacBooks or it has to be a
No,
Windows?
no, it has to be Windows. I keep forgetting to say that. So for our Apple lovers, MacBook lovers, not this time.
I know, I struggle because I've got a MacBook, so I need to buy an window.
Yes,
Yeah,
you're gonna have to get a
I had
Windows
a
laptop.
MacBook lover that used MacBook only. It was like, I don't use Windows. And I was like, well, if you want the safety trade. So they did go and buy a Windows
I'll need to do
laptop.
that as well.
It's worth it, man. Worth it. It's more than worth it. This takes out a lot. It removes a lot of headache, and it also removes the anxiety associated with trading as well.
True.
Because there's certainty in terms of direction, and once you follow the rules, you occasionally will lose some trades even when you follow the rules. But it's going to be a very low number of trades that you lose if you follow the rules. Most people who follow the rules end up trading about 90% success, 95. I've seen people as much as 94. So once you follow the rules, you're good. Just don't be clever. I used to be a clever trader. I've stopped it. It's not a good idea.
A clever trader?
Yeah, trying to outsmart the system, trying to do things
Oh,
the system.
yeah, join the club. Join the club. You get clobbered. You get clobbered every time.
It's no, man, this is look at that. Look at that.
Never ever a good idea.
Just stick with the rules, all right?
Yeah, just stick with the software rules and don't go ahead of yourself.
And you'll be fine. Don't try to anticipate what the market's
Oh
going to
my
do.
gosh.
Hi.
All right.
I've got my friend here as well. She wants to question.
I was on one of the Zooms a month ago, I think. It's Trisha.
Okay, Trisha, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, just a quick one. So you know the payments. You said it's you can choose the different payment plans for the affiliate side. So you pay that monthly, right?
Okay, so you pay the first month of $168, and then we pay $99 a month. So $99 a month keeps us active to have the back office. Without that $99 a month, you won't have access to the back office.
Right, got you. Okay, and then the scanner is separate, and the system of the for 599 is separate, right?
Yeah, so that's an add-on. So you could, so let's say Chidi, my friend Chidi, he would need to start with the $168, or if he can afford the technology, he can buy that from the beginning, if it's in his budget, if it's within his budget. I'm just using that as an example, right? Chidi has a lot of money. But let's say $168, and then if you want to go ahead and buy the technology, you'd buy that for $599, right? $599. So you'll be adding 168 plus 599, which would be the very first payment. That's what some people do. And then we pay 174 per month. $75 covers the signals, and $99 a month covers access to our academy.
Okay, right, got you.
And then if there are budgetary concerns, then someone could start with 168, go through the academy, do like what I did in the beginning, introduce people to the academy, earn some commissions, and then use those commissions to purchase the technology and use some of your commissions to do trading. That's what I did.
Okay.
But Harry, may I, if for that $99, for that 168 and 99 per month, you are getting the signals from Telegram, is that right?
Yes, it includes trade ideas from Telegram. But
Right,
those trade
yeah.
ideas are different from
I
the
understand
safety
that.
trade.
Right, but
Yeah.
aren't they pretty good?
They're great. They're
Exactly.
great.
So in
They're
other
great.
words, you could still be making money, trading
They
on your
are
phone or your
super
computer,
indeed.
right? So you can still make money.
Yes, you
even
could
with the
make money.
$99, right?
Before we had the
So-
technology, people were making money before the technology. So the technology just gave us a leg up.
Let me confirm something also, Harry. They say someone got the system and they got this first month signal for free, but then the second month they don't want to do the scanner at the moment, but they want to do the education package. That's an option also, you said?
Yes, correct. So
Okay.
you could you could mix and match, or you could choose what you specifically want to focus on.
Cool. Yeah, because some
But
persons were asking me and I was not sure.
yeah, so you can mix
You
and
can
match, or you
mix
could
and
just
match
come
and
on.
do whatever.
Yeah, you could just come and buy what you want. So let's say you say, I only want to get safe to trade. You can, not recommended, not advisable, all right? But you can if you wanted to. Or you can add the Forex student, which is $99 a month. You do not want to be an affiliate. You just want to be a student. And the safe to trade, or you only want to be a student, get your trade ideas from Telegram, trade and make money from that level. You can, or you could be an affiliate and then market, trade, use the safe to trade, so you could choose different combinations of how to get in. Okay. All right. Thank you, Coach Andrea. Really appreciate you. Thank you so much for your support and saving me, right?
You're welcome. It is
Kirk,
well.
I'm just troubling you, Kirk. I'm just troubling you, Kirk. I'm just troubling you. I know Kirk is going to make a ton load of money with this system, right? Because here's what this does. It unlocks us from trading a single asset or maybe two assets. You could still focus on we recommend in the beginning, you focus on what you are comfortable trading and what you know very well if you're already a trader. So if you trade NAS, you trade GBP, USD, or GJ, whatever you trade it. But then what you're going to realize is that you're having access to a larger number of assets because of the scanner and the way the setups are called out. So you'll be able to trade a wider range of assets and not narrow ourselves down to a specific asset. And then, as you get used to these 4-hour and 1-hour time frames, we're going to realize that these 4-hour and 1-hour time frame trades provide us opportunities to kind of put a pot on fire and just go away and just let it simmer. All right. Once you get into profit, you change your stop loss to stop profit, and you just allow some of these to run. Okay. Allow some of them to develop and just load up pips upon pips. Every couple of hours you check it and change your stop profit to more, and lock in more and more pips along the journey. All right. I'm very grateful for this particular aspect because these callouts are amazing on the 1-hour chart and the 4-hour chart on any of these assets. But the best ones to use it on are the indices. The best ones to use those 4-hour and 1-hour on is the indices. All right. Remember this 4-hour trade I told you guys about is happening on all three. All right. Look on it. Let me just throw it up there. It's happening. It's going to happen on S&P. That's S&P going on. It's not yet there in the S&P. And it's not probably not. It's there on NAS. And let's see if it's there in US 30. It's not yet there in US 30. All right. So look out for that, guys. The 4-hour trade is developing on all the three. So there's some more money to be made. And then there's a daily developing on all three as well. All right. For a long term, for those swing traders who want the long term buys, there's a daily buy coming up that you could just set it up And if you have enough money in your account, you could afford to let it just swing, swing, swing until it goes up where it's going. All right. So good, great stuff, wonderful stuff. A lot of money here, whole heap of money, as we'd say in Jamaica. All right.
Sorry, just have one more question. Can we use this scanner, this indicators on a Ninja, or is it just for the MT4?
I don't even know what a Ninja is. I know you guys in the
I'm
UK are
not
using that.
sure. You'd have to test it. I'm
Oh,
not sure.
right, okay.
You see,
Because the
yeah,
Ninja
I'm a
is a
baby
little bit
trader, Bob.
different. The Ninja has a MT4 capability.
I'm not sure if it does.
Yeah, I think it's a separate plan. If it doesn't have the MT4 capability, you're not going to be able to properly load the software, and you may get a different kind of reading too.
Okay, no, that's fine. We can always have two screens, like we said.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I need to go learn what
And
this
then
Ninja
you
stuff
would
is.
learn, the color change line, what it refers to and things like that, because whichever your specific broker is, you want to use that as your entry line. So once you're in, you'll get all that information.
Yeah, okay.
Because each broker, the reading is a little different. So what you see on XtreamFx will be a little different than Hugo's and whichever other broker that you're using. But the color change line entry is constant with whichever broker you're on.
Right. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Man, thank you, Coach Andrew. Look at this fill in the gap, Coach Andrew. This gap right here, right? This little gap, this pullback.
Yeah, you can
when
hardly
started
see
selling,
it, but it's there.
right? And then if you caught that this morning, right? Or whenever this was a session a few days ago, right? You caught that the other day when NAS when the indices just started selling off. And if you had a trade open from then,
from last week.
From last week, right? If you caught a trade up here and you had a trade open here.
And some persons are actually using it for the week. Some persons are actually using the information and running the trades for a week.
1,288. All right. Just understand what's going on. Okay. All right, Kirk. So you're gonna make some money, Kirk, for real. All right. No hype. All right, guys. I love you all. Really appreciate
one clarification. Are you saying that this charting only works with two brokers?
The charting, yes, correct. The charting itself. So you would not be able to set up with a different broker for the charting. You could trade on any broker you want, because you could trade on another laptop or on a phone or something. You could open your trades on something else. But for you to be able to open the trades on your live account here, you have to use Hugo's or XtreamFx.
But if you have another broker, I think he said you could use another broker. But you see, there's so much manipulation with brokers that we found that XtreamFx and Hugo's Way work really well with this software.
Yeah, it's accurate with the
just to give you an example, I had someone using the software today, actually this morning, was up with profit nice with the wrong broker, and they did a latency that stole the profit and most of her principal. And that's what happens when you're with some of these other brokers. So we have found that Hugo's Way and XtreamFx for this software works really well. And just be mindful of the of some of the other brokers. So she got trapped in a trade and couldn't get out until they milked her account, right?
Andrea.
Yeah.
So you say now I'm going to have to go open another live account?
No,
somewhere.
Who are you using now?
XtreamFx.
Which one?
XtreamFx.
Oh, I don't know that one, Kirk. But we'll talk. It's really not. It's not a big deal. I'll call you. We'll discuss it. It's really not a big deal. You're not putting. You don't have, because you're not trading it. One of the persons that I had, this chart, they have like $35 on their account because they're not really trading their account. They just put it there to activate the live account. And so yeah. So we'll talk. It's
And
worth it.
you could set this up with a demo. It's not advisable.
Yeah, I don't like the
because
demo at all, Tina, because
because
sometimes
the
you go to log in and it says
servers are different.
authorization fail, and then you have a problem.
Yeah, so I wouldn't do that. Just set up just put $50 in the account and just do so for the purposes of setting it up. And you could still trade in your Xtreamfx account if that's what you're comfortable doing.
And EagleFX doesn't require KYC at the moment. So I tell persons EagleFX, if it's in their country, is actually the better one to run with. But some persons just love Hugo, so it's whatever your preference is between the two.
Hugo's is a really good broker, man. They're very efficient.
What's the
Withdrawal is fast.
like? What's the funding option like with Hugo's?
Crypto.
Bitcoin, or even if you're using your card, they use something called Instacoin. I really recommend Bitcoin for cryptocurrency for Hugo's Way. I think the US persons have a few more options, but it's more seamless with Bitcoin.